you guys, and welcome to my channel. For those of you who are new here, my name is Tashi, and if you haven't already, please make sure to subscribe and turn on that little bell. That way you get notified every single time I post a new video on this channel. For today, guys, I'm going to be talking to you guys about the top things I wish I knew before purchasing my first car. As we all know, purchasing your first car can be a hard financial thing to do. It is, for most people, it is the next most expensive thing than buying a house. So there's a lot of decision making that goes into it. There's a lot of little things that we forget to do when it goes into it. And most of us do end up rushing because we are just so excited to finally get our hands on our first car. But there are a lot of mistakes that a lot of us make along the road that we should consider before purchasing our first car. And I'm going to talk to you guys today about some of those mistakes that I made. I'm going to be talking to you guys about some of the things I wish I knew before buying my first car. For the first tip, which I find is very important, especially when we're young and buying our first car, and social media is very important and it's in our lives constantly, and we're seeing all these beautiful, nice cars on Instagram and all these BMWs and Acuras and Mercedes and Lamborghinis and all these luxury cars. Remembering that you don't need to spend a lot and you don't need to get a nice luxury car for your first car. A lot of people buy a nice, really new, expensive first car because it's their first car, they've been waiting for so long, but also because they're excited to put it on social media. They want to show it off. They want to show their friends, like, oh, this is my new whip, or like, this is what I'm driving, or yeah, this is my car. Guys, at the end of the day, nice cars don't need to be expensive, and nice cars don't need to be luxury. Don't spend a lot if you don't have to. Your first car is your first car for a reason. Some of us may just have got our license. Some of us may not have had the financial stability to buy our first car. So for some of us, it could be trial and error. We may get into a car accident with it. We may hit the curb. We may reverse into a pole. That being said, when the car is really expensive and luxury, doing those things to it can cost you a lot of money to fix, and can cause a lot of issues also. So keeping in mind, it does not need to be expensive and luxury or expensive and new to be your first car. You can spend $5,000 and still get a nice car. You can spend $10,000 and still get a new car. You can spend $2,000, even $3,000. And nowadays, if you do your research, you could probably still get a really good car. So don't get all fixed up on what people think, what social media is putting out there, and how expensive your car is. Look for a car that is good, not for one that is good to put on social media, because at the end of the day, that does not matter. Educate yourself on what you want to do and how you want to pay for your car. Because everyone's financial situation is different, different ways of paying for your car work differently for different people. So, for example, if someone owns a business, leasing a car is a pretty good idea. You could put it under the business and you use it for business, and it's a lot easier to write off at the end of the year. For someone that has a lot of money sitting there and really does not want to pay interest and can afford to pay out the car in cash, good for you. Pay out the car in cash, don't need to pay extra for interest. You feel comfortable doing so, and you're financially stable to do so. And for those who don't want to, or for those who aren't financially stable, or think that financing is a better option for them, then you go finance. Educate yourself on what is a better option for you, because everyone is in a different situation, and not what worked for your friend will work for you. For my third tip, research the warranties. What I mean by research the warranties, before committing to a car, before signing away anything, talk to the seller about what warranties it comes with, for how long, and if you can pay extra to extend those warranties. Because most of the time they do say, yes, there's a warranty on the car, and you just ask a year and then you're all good and you go. But most of us don't know that there are different warranties for different things, and different things are covered differently. So even if they say there's a 1-year warranty on the car, guys, that does not mean the whole car is covered 1 year. If there's a problem with the engine, that's only 3 months. That's not a year for some dealerships. So that's not covered. But you didn't educate yourself at the beginning, and they're not going to disclose that information most of the time if you don't ask. So educate yourself on that. Say you got something installed before purchasing a car, so you installed a backup camera. That's only covered for 6 months. But when you asked them at the beginning, you said the car in general, that's a year. They didn't include the camera, or they didn't think to mention anything about the camera because you didn't ask. Ask about the camera also. And read the little agreements and the little fine print of the warranty, because there's a lot of little things that aren't covered or have minimum coverage compared to the 1 year that is offered at the dealership. So know your warranty inside and out, and ask if you can extend some of those warranties if you feel the need to. Because sometimes it may pass your warranty by a week, even by a few days, and your dealership will not care and will not waive anything and charge you full price. Because your warranty is over, most of them can't really do anything about it, and most of them don't care to do anything about it. So having a warranty that covers at least most of the car and knowing everything there is to know about a warranty is really important. Don't think just because you're buying it from a dealership, something won't go wrong. Or don't think just because it's a new 2020 vehicle that you won't need a warranty. Every single car needs a warranty, and you need to understand the warranties that come with the vehicle. Because at the end of the day, it could save you a lot of money, and it is really important. For my fourth tip, educate yourself on where you want to buy your car from. So most people just think, I want this car, I want to buy it, I'm going to go to the dealership, I'm good, and I'm good to go. Wrong, guys. There are more options that are more financially affordable than going to the dealership and buying your first car. Don't just think because it's not from the dealership, it's not good, or you're going to get scammed, or there's going to be so many issues. That's wrong. Guys, buying it from a private seller is completely fine. Buying it from a small lot is completely fine, because when you buy from those two places, there's not as much hidden fees. There's more wiggle room if you want to negotiate with price, or if you want other things included. But when you buy from a dealership, it's more, that's your price, barely any room for negotiation. We won't throw this in, and that's it. They need to make commission, they need to pay for the dealership, they need to pay other bills. So it will probably cost you a lot more to buy from a dealership than it will from a private seller or a small lot. That being said, this is for those who want to buy secondhand. If you're buying firsthand, a brand new car, then I understand, go to the dealership, that's how it works. But for those who buy secondhand, do your research first. If you find a good deal privately, do it privately. Just educate yourself before doing so. And again, if you find a better deal at a small lot car sales place, then buy it from there. Just educate yourself first. You don't need to buy from a dealership, because you will save money at the end if you don't. And for my final and most important tip is research everything there is to do with your car long term. What I mean by that is, guys, we can't be thinking today and tomorrow. We can't be thinking today and next month. When you buy a car, it is long term. You're going to have it for a few months maybe. You're going to have it for a few years for most people. And you need to know all the little things there is to know about owning your car in a few years' time. Because that money or those issues are all going to add up at the end, and it's going to cause you problems. Know the depreciation value of your car. What I mean by that is your car going to go down a lot in price if you choose to sell it in a year from now? Or does it not go down in price and it doesn't have a bad depreciation value? And if you sell it in a year from now, you won't lose a lot of money. Because there are some cars that hold up their depreciation very well. So do your research on that. Do your research on what you will pay when insuring your car. When we purchase our first car, guys, we need to buy insurance. So do your research on what insurance brokers are cheaper, what insurance brokers offer you more, and also the difference between insuring one car and insuring another car. Because if you buy, say, a Honda, it will be a completely different price compared to insuring a Lexus. So know how much you'll pay in insurance in the long run, because at the end of the day, that really does add up. We are thinking long term with our car purchases. Don't think short term. Think long term. Because guys, at the end of the day, it matters. So guys, those are my tips for you today. Thank you so much for watching. I hope this was helpful. If you have anything to say or any positive messages, just leave them in the description bar down below. Don't forget to like and subscribe to this video for more content. Thank you for watching and see you next time.